Hey friends, welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay, and happy Monday, happy new work week. I'm just gotta make a few little tweaks here. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chalk Couture. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I happen to be in central Kansas this evening. I am live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching on a different platform. And also, lastly, if you like this project and you think others should see it, or you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Hit that heart button, hit that thumbs up button. Not only does that help my channel get seen by new people, that also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content, so therefore it will push more content like this into your feed. I would greatly appreciate it if you would help me. And with that, let's go to our comments. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. Sorry, I'm distracted because I think I have a cord shadow. My eye makeup is not. I bet it's my frame shadow. So it might look like I have mascara running, but I don't. It's just the shadow of my glasses that's been distracting me. So with that, I do want to show you one quick thing before I forget. There is a Halloween sale going on right now. It is shop up to 85% off of Halloween items. So there is a shopping link in the description of the video that will take you to my Chalk site. And then if you go to shop and then sale, you will hit those, that will show you all of those items that are on sale. So if you've been looking for any of this year's Halloween or past Halloween items that have been added, feel free to check out that Halloween sale after the live or after the replay. Or if you really just need to take a break, hop out real quick, check out that sale, and then make sure you come back. So I did want to point that out really quick. And then you have tonight and tomorrow to take advantage of this month's Club Couture promotion and join as a Club Couture member. So it is a DIY subscription kit that is delivered to your mailbox every month. There is a 3-month minimum commitment, but you can cancel at any time after that. It is $25.99 US per month, but it comes with a B-sized exclusive transfer, which this month it happens to be the Pretty and Plaid. It comes with 2 paste singles this month and the 5x7 MDF frame that you see pictured right there. And if you want to get that at a 30% discount, I would highly recommend joining the Perks membership. That is a separate program, but it will allow you to subscribe as a Club Couture member as well at 30% off of that. So it would be $17.99, I believe, if my crafty math is correct-ish. So just wanted to point that out. So with that, let's go ahead and flip the camera and I will show you our project. So again, we are using the Pretty and Plaid Club Couture transfer for the month. I have used this in another project. We're also going to be using the size A sweater weather transfer. This is part of the Chalk plus Tiffany Thiessen collaboration, so we're going to be doing that. I have one of the new Chalk Spot 9x12 MDF tags. They're about 1/16 of an inch thick, but just keep in mind this can also be double-sided. I have some Waverly chalk paste in the color Cashew. And then my paste colors for this evening are Dear Diary, which is a past color of the month, Ivy, Couture Coral, Marmalade, and Cabernet. And these 3 colors are 3 in vogue colors, so after this season they may not be sticking around. So if you want any of these 3 colors, you might need to pick those up. And I just messed up my order, but I think I can remember it. Okay. So the first thing, I need to just get my spacing down. So I'm going to put this kind of in the middle. I'm going to paint the whole thing in Cashew, which I should probably, actually let's just, and then we'll paint the whole thing in Cashew, and then we'll do some plaid on top, and we'll do some plaid on the bottom, and then sweater weather will be in the middle. So let's go ahead and get that painted. I'm going to bring in some cardboard. I'm also going to remove the twine. If you have not gotten a chance to check out the Chalk Spot surfaces yet, I highly recommend doing that. I believe, let me just check the pricing really quick. So your cost, I believe, as a regular customer is $5. My cost at 40% off as a designer is $3.75. And 30% off of 5 would be $1.50 off. So I can't do math backwards. $3.50? That's not right, because that would be, I don't know, something like that. Pretty cheap. Actually, let me log out and we'll just do it. That'll tell me. Log out. Shop. Chalk Spot. Oh, it usually tells me. Your cost, the regular customer cost is $5. Hello, Miss Bonita. So I'm just using my little plastic razor blade to get the tag off, but actually it came off super easy. Okay, so this is the side that we're going to paint. I know it's a little hard to see on the cardboard. Actually, I'm just going to remove the cardboard. And then we're going to use Cashew it off. I just put lotion on my hands. I love this paint. What if you get any paint on the lid? It won't come off. Jason! I just put lotion on my hands, so I can't get it off. Oh, wait, I got it. Sorry. False alarm. And then you get all of this gunk everywhere. Okay. I got it. Thanks, though. I forgot he's on a delay, so he didn't hear me say I got it. Thank you, dear. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit on a plate because I have a feeling it'll be thick. That's the other, I love this paint, but the second thing I don't like about it is that it gets super thick. But I just add water. I'm going to get out more than I need. I'm going to stir that together. How was everyone's weekend? I had a restful weekend, but once again, I got diddly poo done. Like, suppose that as far as creative projects, I got nothing done. But that's the story of my life. You could paint this with chalk paste. Mine get dried out. And I have so much paint that I just prefer painting with the paint, but you can paint with our chalk paste if you so desire. I just have so much paint readily available that I choose to paint with it. These paint up really well. I've heard other designers say that. I was a little worried that the MDF wouldn't paint very well, but it does. I'm trying to use longer strokes and to try to avoid painting the sides. Instead of painting this way over the edge, paint off of the edge, and then you won't paint the sides as easily. Okay, we'll see what that looks like after it dries. But that's literally, that's one coat. Looks really good for one coat. Let's get it dry and see what it really looks like. I'm going to get my quick dry tool out. You went to see, oh, Benita says she loves the color cashew. I know she's probably a Waverly paint fanatic like me. She said she went to see her mom on Saturday, did a little crafting time, and your aunt and second mom were there as well. It was a fabulous day. Your second mom is your mom's best friend and was like a mom to you growing up. I had one of those as well. Well, I'm glad you had some crafting time. Sounds like fun. Okay, you guys cannot forget to remind me, I have the new Snoopy holiday collection. I got it Saturday. So if you want to see any of that up close and personal, just remind me before I'm done. I forgot the other day and hopped back on live and probably sounded like a big buffoon. Looks pretty good for one coat. I am going to add another coat. I probably don't need to, but it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. See, I did a pretty good job of not painting my sides. Got a little bit down there, but let's put one more coat on, especially since we have paint. Oops. A little bit of red somewhere. So is anybody else trying hard to believe that October is on Wednesday? Of course, in Jason and I's defense, we were gone for almost a third of September. When you take a 9-day vacation, it makes the month go really quick. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Oops. Not perfect. It's painted. I'm going to add stuff over it so you won't even see hardly any of it. Jason says this whole year has been a blur. Hello, Miss Ashley. And I will paint the back side later. Nobody needs to watch me paint that. Anita says she loves sweater weather, but she's struggling to believe October is just a day away. Yeah, it was crazy. And it's definitely not sweater weather here. still in the 80s. So just as a reminder, if you hopped on late, if you look at the graphic right there, there is a Halloween sale going on right now. There are transfers up to 85% off. The shopping link is in the description of the video. Any of those links will take you to my shop site. You just need to hit the word shop or the shop tab and then the sale tab, and that'll take you to all of the things that are 85% off. So you can stock up on some of this year's Halloween items or past year's Halloween items. And this is one of the chalk spot chalk tags. It is a 9x12 MDF board. It's about 1/16 of an inch thick, so it's pretty thin. But if you're looking, if you've gone to purchase things from the dollar spot, it's pretty equivalent to that. And if you happen to be it's just, hopefully instead of shopping at the Dollar Tree or the Bullseye Playground, then maybe you'll shop my chalk site for some of the equivalent surfaces. So I'm just waxing this one now. Wax will help protect my painted surface and my transfer from getting wrecked, basically, either one of them. This will just be a protective barrier between my chalk spot tag and my transfer. Which is getting a little distressed. So I'm just kind of buffing it in. And you can use either, you can use the Chalkateur Surface Wax with a Chalkateur applicator, which I normally do, use the applicators. But my preference is the Minwax Paste Finishing Wax. It stays nice and moist. It doesn't get hard like the Chalkateur wax does. But if yours does get hard, you can take your quick dry tool and kind of heat it up, and it will be a little bit more pliable and movable. I've had that paste Minwax since the beginning of time. I've literally had it since 2018, and I've barely put a dent in it. Okay, so we're going to do sweater weather. I'm just trying to decide. I need to decide how much. Put a little bit of tape. Is that the wax Noah used on the ark? I don't get it. I might be a little slow. Okay, so I'm going to put my tape here. Because it's old. Probably. No, it's only 7 years old. Okay. So I'm going to try to use my, let's see, I'm going to line this up at the bottom. Let's try to use my grid on my mat. So I'm going to, because I'm using this glass mat, I'm going to pop my backer sheet underneath so that the rest of this transfer does not stick. Okay, so we've got that there. We're going to rewind a little bit. So if you're new to Chalkateur, which most of you that are on the live are not, but if you are on the replay and you have never seen one of these Chalkateur silkscreen transfers, these are reusable sticky back silk screens. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of them. So because I'm going to clean this when I'm finished and I need to return it to this white backer sheet, I need to just note on the back side with the pen that works, just that this is the back side, so that when I'm done with it, it's all clean and dried and ready to be put away. I know that the transfer goes on this side and not this side because there is a difference. So that's that little disclaimer. And so again, my color palette is Dear Diary, which is an old color of the month, but you could use Camel in its place. I'm using Ivy. It's kind of an odd color palette, and I probably should show you my inspiration. So Dear Diary, Ivy, Couture Coral, Marmalade, and Cabernet. Kind of an odd pairing, but let me show you my inspiration. I saw this photo, or actually I saw this file. Oh, it's not going to come up easy, is it? Oh, right there. So this is my inspiration. It was an SVG kind of a shirt file, but I really liked the color palette. Thought it was an interesting fall color palette. So I picked out the colors that mostly represented it. So you could get away with using Camel instead of Dear Diary. So now I just need to figure out what color I want my plaid to be. I thought about coming in with Espresso or Lagoon. And technically, if you didn't have Ivy, you could also use, and actually I might change it out, Academia or Tide, which is the same color. So actually, let me get mine out if it's not dried up. You could also, so here is Tide or Academia. You could also get away with Lagoon. which I might use Lagoon. My Tide is a little dried up, sadly. You could also use, I think I'm going to totally reverse that. I'm going to use Cabernet because in the pattern you only use Cabernet twice and everything else gets used 3 times. So let's use Cabernet on the bottom. Plus that's not a color I typically gravitate towards, so let me force myself to gravitate towards that. Okay, so I've got a small squeegee. Okay, there. Okay, now let's get going. So I have my small squeegee. I'm just going to dip it in the color, pull a little bit out. Ashley says pretty paste colors. I thought that when I saw that shirt file or just a design file, I thought that the colors were really cool together. So that was where I'm pulling my inspiration from. So we're going to color block the top and the bottom with plaid. Okay. Oops, went a little over there, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, let's see if I can pop this down. Try to go on the bottom. Ugh. Mainly because this edge has my straight line on it. Okay, let's get this. Got to stand up, put that at the bottom, and then I'm just going to pop that down. Okay, and then carefully pop this back down. Okay, now let's see. Now I'm just going to gently, I don't have it all the way burnished down just because I didn't want to ooze any wet paste that I still had on my transfer down. We're going to work quickly. Oops. And hopefully get it all covered. Oops, I got a little bubble there, but okay. Okay, let's see what kind of damage we did. A little bubble there, but not too bad. Okay, I'm going to take this over to my sink, oops, and get it sprayed down. Okay. Okay, let's get that dry. Put that lid on while we're not using it. I went a little over right there, but I think we can fix it once it's dry. Same way with the spot that we went over there. Okay. So I'm going to pull my picture back up. So I did not fuzz the last transfer just because I have used it before and it had a lot of mesh versus adhesive. Plus I just kind of forgot, but if you have a new transfer like this sweater weather, you do want to try to fuzz it a few times, especially the first time you use it. If you're using it and it's a non-ink project. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting it down on this terry cloth fuzz towel, and I'm just knocking back a little bit of that adhesive with whatever lint happens to be on my towel. That's just going to help keep the transfer from being so sticky that it sticks really hard to my project. And so what I did there is I just kind of lightly folded over the design and I kind of roughly lined up the design edges. And then I just put a little pinch in the middle. And so then that gives me a little tiny mark that I can line up roughly with like the whole of my design, because that's roughly in the center. And then I'm going to use my plaid lines to also help me line it up. Okay, so again, our colors are, I think I might just do one color at a time. And sometimes when you're fuzzing, you pick up little visitors. I have stuff all over my towels. Dog hairs, my hairs. Okay, let's go back to my picture. I think I'm going to do one color at a time. I think I can do that. Yeah. But I'm also going to be using the paste and pull method, which this is paste. It's natural. It's made of natural materials. It's also chalk. So chalk is going to dry hard to the touch, but it is water soluble. But because it dries hard to the touch, I don't want it to dry in my silk screen. So there's a fine line between going too fast and not going fast enough. It's kind of a timeline you have to keep in mind because you don't want the paste to dry in the silkscreen. So you have to kind of work on a mission. So that's why we're going to use the paste and pull method. So I'm going to paste a little bit, pull it up to separate the paste from the silkscreen, put it back down, and paste whatever I have left. So there is a method to my madness, and there is a purpose to my pasting. And I'm going to turn my project. So this one is Dear Diary. I'm using the multi-tool. Kind of works kind of like a squeegee pencil type. You can hold it like it's a pencil. It has some rigidity to it. So this helps to get me into some of those tighter spots. So I'm just going to pull that up, and I've released it from the transfer, and I'm just going to gently lay it back down. So I'm going to come over here to the E after I clean my fingers because I'll end up with that everywhere. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I kind of turn my project so I paste away from where I don't want to paste. So I kind of pull down away from other areas. So I'm going to release that part. And my other letter is a T, the other T down here. Now you don't have to do all of these colors. If you're a beginner, I would probably just stick with one color, kind of like I did with the plaid. And then maybe work your way up to multiple colors. Or do sweater one color and leather another color. Maybe if you are not a total beginner, that would be kind of an intermediate way to do it. Okay, so then let's pull up that part. So there is my S, an E, and a T. And then I'm just going to burnish the other areas. And let's clean that off. We'll go to our next color, which I really want to use that one, but I think it's too stiff. So let's go with Lagoon. Still using the same multi-tool, just made sure it was dry. I'm going to come into the W. So let's pull that off. Release that. We're going to come over here to the R. I'm going to release that one. And then we'll come over here to the H. I'm going to burnish that one, make sure it's all stuck down. I just saw Benita's comment. She says, I have the patience of a saint to do all these colors. No, probably just crazy. Okay, so I released that one. So now we'll come in with Couture Coral. And if you're going to be using one tool, okay, so interesting. So you can do one of two things. I have two thoughts going. So I just now realized that all of my E's have the same accent mark as my design, my original inspiration. So you can either do these the same color. They've done all theirs in this Cabernet color. Oh no, they did not, because this one's a different color. So these E's will end up being the same Couture Coral. And then so we need to decide if we want to do the accents the same color or if we want to do the Cabernet, because then this one will end up Cabernet. Oh wait, but theirs has it on the A, ours has it all on the E. I got to do some thinking. Well, I guess we'll do it like the design picture. If you're back to my original thought that I got that I interrupted myself with, if you're going to use the same multi-tool like I am, make sure and you wash it off, make sure that it's perfectly dry before you go to the next color, because I've noticed if I don't get my multi-tool dry enough when I do the next color, then that's when my colors tend to run. So make sure if you're cleaning this in between colors, that you make sure that it's dry really well. Let's pull that one. And then the other E over here. Like I said, if you're just a beginner, don't let this overwhelm you. Just pick one color, kind of like what we did with the plaid. If you think you're beyond that a little bit, do sweater in one color and weather in the other color. I wouldn't try this unless you've done several projects. Okay, so we're done with coral. So let's pull the E before we forget. Feeling it's all okay. Let's dry that or wash that, get that good and dry, and then we'll come in with marmalade. And I still need to figure out what I want to do with the accents, but we'll get to that. Make sure my A is good and burnished. I probably should have picked like brown for the plaid, but I don't know, maybe this will work. I'll have to see it when we're all done. Burnish my E. Got a little bit of lagoon in there, but I think it'll be okay. And then my R, burnish that down. Okay, so let's pull that one up. Okay, let's clean that off. We're down to our Cabernet. We'll bring that back in. Make sure my multi-tool is dry. This is a really pretty color. It's a little darker, I think, than currant jam. If you like non-traditional Christmas colors, it will be great for Christmas. Let's do this little dude first before we. A little tricky. Okay. Ew. It's getting a little dicey up in here. Okay, so we've got this. It's burnished down here. Hindsight, of course, it might have ended up with too many colors, but it would have also been pretty to do the same color palette, but maybe do my plaid in like espresso, and then to pull that into this design, do these little accent marks with espresso. But I think this way will turn out just fine. Okay, I think we're done with that. I'm going to leave that there just in case I need to do a little touching up. I don't think so. It's not perfect, but it's doable. Okay, I'm going to take this over to my sink and get it sprayed down. Let's clean this off first. So now my tools are all clean, except the big one. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna take this over to my sink. I don't think I haven't even looked at my fabric to see if any of it will match, but Jason says he loves it. Beautiful colors. Anita says super cute. Thank you. It's definitely colorful. So I do have a few. I mean, it's not perfect, but from way back, it doesn't look bad. So like, let's see if we can fix this little boo-boo down here. Sometimes when you wax, you can use the pointed end of the detail tool. And sometimes you can get that off a little bit. I can't get it all off, but it's worth a try. Sometimes, and then let's see if we can get this off. So it might help to get that off. Also might try a clean wet wipe right on that spot. I wouldn't try messing with any of that down there. Because that's just going to make a mess. But like isolated spots like this, if you wax, you might be able to get it off. And then sometimes you can come in here and get rid of some of these oopsies, because these are small enough. I don't have too many. So that's what that looks like. Super fun. So now I'll need to figure out what kind of embellishments I want to add to it. I don't know. Probably some sort of bow, but let's also go ahead and do this while we're here. I'm just going to sand the edges off. Looks a little too clean. got a mess. So now we've just kind of yuckied up the edges a little bit. That's what that looks like. So not as clean and neat anymore. So now you need to tell me what you would do. What would you guys do for embellishments? Get this cleaned off. And then if you want, I can show you some of the new peanut stuff that came. What do y'all think? Do you want to see some peanut stuff? Let me move some of the wet stuff. Anita says she'd add a messy bow. Yeah, I don't know whether I want to do like twine and some beads. Are farmhouse beads in, or are they still in, or are they out? I don't even know anymore. Okay, put that away. That away. I'm trying to get in the habit. Jason says the peanut stuff is adorable. He already got a sneak peek. Okay, Bonita says yes to peanut stuff. I think Miss Bonita may have some peanut stuff coming her way. Thank you very much. So there is one transfer. If you've looked at the flyer, there is one transfer that is not available. It's the Peanuts font, and it won't be available till mid-October. There was a snafu with when they got their order in, there was, I think, either a number or a letter missing, so they had to reorder it and remanufacture it. So it is on the way. And just remember, like some of the other recent launches, this stuff is not restocking. So once it's gone, it's gone. So if you really want it, you need to really buy it. And the most of the links are down in the description. I do need to still add a cart link for tonight's project. I will add a direct link to the Halloween sale, and I will add a direct link to the new peanut stuff. Benita says she saw a messy bow the other day, and they had strung some of those farmhouse beads on baker's twine and worked it in like the fabric. It was so cool. Oh, if you think about it, show me, if you find it again, send me the pic. I'd love to see that, or point me in the right direction. I still like farmhouse beads. I just didn't know if they were still a thing. Okay, so this is the Chalk Peanuts, Chalkature plus Peanuts holiday release. So this one is called Charlie Brown Tree. It is a size A. But he says she will do. Okay, so there's your one of your size A's. And that might be the only, is that the only size A? I guess so. Okay, so then here's your size B's. This one is called Piano Pals. So it's all the gang plus Schroeder. I don't think we've seen Schroeder. Well, we've seen Schroeder in a mini. But you've got the whole gang here. And then this one is called Dr. Lucy. And then it has the Peanuts logo and then a large Charlie Brown squiggle, which would have been great when I did my clipboard. So that one is definitely a must. This one is called Snoopy Sled. Is that not? That is just so stinking cute. This one was one of my favorites. There's 2 or 3 that stand out. So this is Snoopy and Woodstock on a sled, perfect for the holidays and for winter. So depending on the colorway that you choose, you can either make this Christmassy, you could even make it Halloweeny. If it's cold where you live at Halloween, you could give him a Halloween striped hat. But you could do all sorts of colorways. This one is called Joy of Giving. So it's Charlie Brown, Linus, and Snoopy exchanging gifts. This one is called Snoopy's Holiday Treats. This would be a cute little tray to leave out cookies and milk for Santa. You could also, instead of just putting Snoopy's Holiday Treats, if you did just cookies and cocoa, that would get you through the winter. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas transfer. Then we have a G transfer, which kind of in essence is 3 A's put together. So this one is called Cozy Snoopy. So there's Snoopy in one of those puffy jackets. I think that one is so stinking adorable. That's probably my second favorite. But Snoopy all cuddled up on the top of his doghouse. And then you've got Snoopy with the same little stocking cap that he has on this with the sled. So you only get one true size A, but you do get 3 size A's basically in this transfer. Anita says she loves the sledding Snoopy. I think that one was in the preview image when the designers have their and Perks members get for the first look at these. This one was on the event and everyone went nuts over that one. Okay, here is 1C. This one is called Christmas Tree Farm. So it's a farm fresh Christmas trees. And it's Snoopy and Woodstock cutting down their tree. And you could leave out Christmas if you wanted to and just put trees in the middle. So this would get you through Christmas and winter. And of course you can always isolate designs if you need to. And then this is the 1 size D. This one is Snoopy Wreath. So it is a size C. It's Snoopy lounging on a wreath. Super cute. And then there is one more. It's the Snoopy, the Peanuts font. And it won't be available till mid-October. If you want any of these, get them while you can because they will not be restocked. So yeah, super fun. I need to start playing with them so that you can see them in action. Rick loved the size C Christmas Dollar Tree. The Farm Fresh trees, this one. The Christmas trees. I bet Christmas tree. Yeah, spell check and then tagging. If you put in, I bet it, yeah, I know what happened. You like this one? Yeah, Rick likes this one. It was probably my 3rd favorite. So the Snoopy with the sled, the puffer jacket Snoopy, and this one were super cute. I also really like this one. I mean, I just really like them all, but some of them are cuter than others. So yeah, I need to play with them. So that is all I have. Let me show you this way. I'll still paint the back. I'll still embellish. I'll give it some sort of messy bow treatment, and then we'll call it good. But that is what we made. Thanks for all of your help. Thanks for hanging out with me. Again, if you wouldn't mind spreading some of the chalk love around, make sure you've hit that like button or the heart button before you leave. I will be live on Wednesday. So yeah, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week if I don't see you then. Thanks so much and have a great week. Thanks for watching.